It is April 18th. The stay-at-home order is still in place. It is coldish, and it just stopped raining. And I'm gonna go kayaking. You wanna know what the life of an outdoor educator is like during a pandemic? This is it. Because of my Knowles course and the weather, I really didn't get to paddle the beginning of the season at all, January-ish, when I normally would have. And then as soon as I came back from Knowles, I worked a little bit, and then the lockdown started. So this is the first time I've paddled this year, which is very late for me. And that's sort of indicative of the way the rest of my plans for 2020 went. You may recall that I made a video about my plans for 2020. I'll put it up there. And pretty much all of that has just dissolved. The first thing that disappeared were my WFA courses. In mid-March, actually, just literally 2 days before I was supposed to fly to, or drive to Charlotte, North Carolina to teach a course, I got canceled. And then about a week later, all my courses through May canceled. And then a couple weeks ago, all my courses through June canceled. At the same time, the bigger company that I teach for not only shut down all classes, but furloughed just about 95% of the employees. I was fortunate enough to not be one of the people that was furloughed, but I'm not teaching. I'm doing all sorts of, they're finding work for me, which is great. I'm very lucky, but I'm not teaching anybody or anything. And I suspect that I probably won't start teaching until the fall, if I'm lucky. The sailing stuff that I had planned to build on after my Knowles course has either vanished or indefinitely postponed. The first week in May, I was supposed to be helping move a really beautiful brand new boat from Massachusetts down to Long Island. And that'll happen at some point. I hope I can still do it. And I've been, of course, completely unable to rent sailboats, so I haven't been sailing since Knowles. And then the next part is the independent stuff that I do. I had several things, private classes, a medical class for a group doing a big trip, all that stuff canceled. And then the last part of my income is book sales, and my book sales completely dried up. So fortunately, I'm in a pretty good place financially to start with. I mean, I don't have a lot of money, but my wife has a good job, and but the bulk of my income, I'm still getting a little bit for the big company I work for, but the bulk of my income has vanished, and all of my teaching has vanished. So today seemed like a good day to go kayaking. So myself and some friends are just going to put our boats on the water and paddle. This wasn't the weather that we had planned, but I'll take it. I haven't been in a boat in months. So that's sort of the state of the life of an outdoor educator to this point, but here's what I'm doing in the meantime. I can't sail, I can only kayak a little bit, I'm not teaching, so I'm back to writing. I'm writing another simple guide to kayak camping, and another book that doesn't have a title yet, which is a bigger project and it'll take a while. So I'm keeping myself busy, I'm mountain biking a lot, but working hard to not go stir crazy, like the rest of the world. And in the scheme of things, I'm pretty lucky. It's not too bad here where I am. So yeah, gonna go paddling. Hey, my friends are here. That's good. Okay, so those are all the things that I'm not real happy about, things that are troubling, worrisome. But some things that I'm excited about, some things that I'm optimistic about. The first is the number of people that I'm seeing in the outdoors. When I go mountain biking or when I go for a hike, I'm seeing way more people on trails than normal. And that's because people are bored and locked in their houses. But I'm wondering what percentage of those people will continue to be active in the outdoors and will seek out instruction from people like me to get better and safer and more experienced in the outdoors. So that, for me, is the first thing that I'm super excited about. Yeah. Yeah. Rightfully so. And I think we waited an hour for it to open or so. The second thing that I'm optimistic about is wildlife. Across the planet, we're seeing dramatic increases in wildlife. Animals are lounging on the roads of Yellowstone National Park. Hey, I got it right this week. Last week I said Yellowstone. I said Yosemite. Animals are lounging on the roads of Yellowstone National Park. The canals of Venice have jellyfish in them, and it's clear enough in the water there for the first time in 100 years that you can actually see wildlife. Last week on this lake, I saw 2 bald eagles. I've never seen 2 bald eagles on this lake, ever. There was one that lived here, and there were 2 last week. And that's all super encouraging, and I'm really excited about that. And it's a clear indicator of the impact that we can have on the environment. And that means that if we band together and work towards making changes for climate change, we'll see the effects. So those are the things that I'm super optimistic about, and only time is going to tell whether or not we keep that up or we have the ability to keep people focused on that sort of behavior and making that sort of change. So it's not all bad. We'll get through this. Stay active. I'll see you outside.